What are carve-outs to anti-dilution protections? Well, anti-dilution protections generally protect the preferred shareholder from suffering negative consequences when the startup or the company in which he or she holds preferred shares issues new equity, generally pursuant to future financing rounds. It does this by adjusting the rate of conversion of the preferred shares to common shares. Now, there are always, as part of the anti-dilution protections and calculations, certain carve-outs. Carve-outs identify the scenarios and situations which might give rise to some form of issuance of new equity or ownership in the startup venture, but it does not give rise to the adjustment of the conversion ratio, or it doesn't trigger the anti-dilution protections. Now, some of the common anti-dilution carve-outs are the conversion of existing shares by preferred stockholders, the exercise of stock options, whether that's incentive stock options or non-statutory or statutory stock options pursuant to an employee stock option plan, the issuance of dividends, any division or splitting of stock, any employee compensation routine such as deferred compensation or other vesting of stock options or ownership interest, the restatement of the articles of organization pursuant to a or with the intention to execute a future financing round, going through an initial public offering or even a direct public offering, merger or acquisition by another strategic acquirer, any commercial transaction that involves the transfer of security as part of the transaction, any settlement of any dispute, particularly internal managerial disputes that result in the issuance of shares to settle any discrepancies in ownership or structure, any board approved relationships with third parties whereby equity is issued or used as part of a compensation or collaborative effort, any shares to suppliers as part of the production or manufacturing process, and then in the event there is the issuance of new equity that would otherwise trigger the anti-dilution protections if a majority of the preferred class holders, the class of preferred shareholders, approve the transaction and approve the issuance of equity, then again this would not trigger the anti-dilution protections if it were named as a carve-out. So these are some of the most commonly seen carve-out provisions that you'll find associated with anti-dilution protections.